So welcome back. In the last class we have learned about Biot-Savart law. Biot-Savart law helps us to find the magnetic field due to a current carrying element at a distance r. Today we are going to apply this Biot-Savart law to find the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop at a distance x from the center of the loop. So we shall start right now. So in the previous class we have learned about Biot-Savart law, and this Biot-Savart law can be used to find the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. And this current carrying conductor can be of any shape. It can be a straight wire, or it can be a loop, it can be a coil, it can be a toroid. So a current carrying conductor can take different shapes. So here we are going to learn the application of this Biot-Savart law, that is to find the magnetic field due to a current carrying conductor. And here the shape of this current carrying conductor is that of a loop. So the magnetic field due to a circular loop of current. That is the application that we are going to learn. So consider a loop through which a current I is flowing. Then we must take the radius of this loop, and it is taken as A. Small letter A represents the radius of the current loop. Then, as we know, Biot-Savart law will enable us to find the magnetic field due to a small current element. So we want to find a small current element on this loop. So let it dl. So this is the small part of the loop for which we are going to find the field. So dl is the idl. This is the dl length of the loop, and this dl is the small part of the loop for which we are going to find the magnetic field. And at a distance r, what is the magnetic field? So r represents the distance from the current element to the point where we are going to find the magnetic field, and x is the distance from the center of this loop to the point P where we are going to find the magnetic field. And from the previous class we have learned about the direction of the magnetic field dB. We had a comparison between Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart law. There we have learned that the direction of dB is perpendicular to dl and r. So I will show you an example. So this is suppose this is our current loop. So this is the current loop, and here we are taking a small segment of wire, that is dl, and from this dl we are going to find the field at a distance r, and dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl cross r. So dl cross r means perpendicular to dl and perpendicular to r. That will be the direction of the dB. So the direction of dB should be perpendicular to both r and l. So that means the direction of B perpendicular to dl, at the same time it is perpendicular to r. So the direction of this magnetic field B or dB can be drawn like this. So here you may see that this r is perpendicular to dl. The distance r is perpendicular to DL. So this could be the direction of DB, either forward or backward depending on the direction of current through the loop. So now if you take this direction, you can see that this current carrying loop is over a plane. So perpendicular to that plane, the distance R you can imagine. So now this B is perpendicular to this plane. At the same time, it is perpendicular to B is perpendicular to this current element and is perpendicular to the R. Okay, and it will be parallel to this plane containing this current loop. So that is how we are drawing the direction of B. So it can be either forward or backward. That depends on the direction of current through the coil. So this is how the direction of B present. So understanding of this direction of magnetic field is important to apply Biot-Savart law. So I dl cross R. If dl cross R is the direction of B, should be perpendicular to dl and R. This we have learned previously. That means in the last year, if vector C is equal to A cross B, then vector C will be perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. If vector C is equal to vector A cross vector B, then direction of C should be perpendicular to the plane containing A and B. So using the same concept, we can see that this is how the direction of field is present. And here again A is the radius of the loop. So now the distance R can be tilted by a small angle like this. So if we tilt this R by a small angle, still this theta or the angle between the distance R and the current element will be perpendicular. The angle between R and this current element will be perpendicular. So this is very much similar to a pencil placed over a bangle. So if you have a bangle or if you have a ring or bangle shaped thing, you just place a pencil or a pen over this bangle. Now you can see that if it is placed normal to this bangle, always the angle between this pencil and the bangle, or the angle between this pencil and ring, will be 90 degree. So this is the same case. So here also you can see that the theta is always 90 degree. So this is how we have drawn in the previous figure. So this is the case. That means R is tilted by a small angle. Still the angle between this DL and R will be 90 degree. Theta will be 90 degree. In the equation I dl sin theta by R square, theta is 90 degree. So theta is equal to 90 degree here also. The angle between the distance R or the position vector R and DL, vector DL, will be 90 degree. So this can be shown in a different way also. Suppose this is the case. So this is our ring or a bangle, and we have placed a small pencil here over the bangle. Now the angle between this distance R or this pencil and this bangle or a ring will be 90 degree. Now we may just move this pencil forward or backwards. So this is the DL. Now even if we move this rod backward or forward, still this angle will be 90 degree. The angle between this pencil and this bangle or this ring will be 90 degree. And the direction of B will be perpendicular to R and DL. So it will be either into the paper or out of the paper. So this is how I may draw, but actually the direction of B will be either into the paper or out of the paper. So the direction depends on the direction of flow of the current. So the direction of B whether it is into the paper or out of the paper depends on the direction of flow of the current. So the direction of B, understanding the direction of B is very crucial in solving this Biot-Savart law for different cases. So now taking the same idea in the first figure, you can see that this is how the direction of magnetic field is present, or this is how the small field dB due to the small current element dl is present. So this is how, so perpendicular to R. So perpendicular to R, dB is present like this. So the angle between this R and dB will be, here it will be 90 degree. And all of you know this dB is a vector. So if a vector is making a small angle with the reference angle, then it can be resolved into its components. So if the angle is phi here, then the angle between this vertical or y-axis and dB will be again phi. So dB is making an angle phi with the vertical direction. So dB can be resolved into its components, horizontal and vertical. So along the x-axis, what is present is the dB sin phi component. Along x-axis dB sin phi, and along y-axis dB cos phi. So these are the two components of dB. So understanding of this direction of dB is very crucial to solve this Biot-Savart law for magnetic field due to a circular current loop. And always remember that B is perpendicular, the direction of B is perpendicular to R and dl. So this is how dl is present, and this dB is perpendicular to dl. At the same time it is perpendicular to R also. So let P be the point where we want to find the magnetic field. And from our previous class we know Biot-Savart law says that dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by R square, and the direction is along PA. So this is how the magnetic field is present. Along PA is the magnetic field present, and again it can be resolved into the components. So which are the two components present? There is a component along x-axis, there is a component along y-axis. And again in this equation, what is the angle theta? Theta is equal to 90 degree here. Therefore it can be rewritten as dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl sin theta by R square along PA, because now there is no sin theta here because sin 90 is equal to 1. Now this dB along x-axis and this dB along y-axis can be found. So what is the dB along x-axis? Along x-axis what is present is dB sin phi. So dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl by R square. That into sin phi will be the component along x-axis. Therefore dB is equal to dB sin phi, because dB sin phi is the component along x-axis and the value of dB is given here. Therefore that is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl by R square into sin phi. Similarly, there is a component along y-axis. So along y-axis the component is dB cos phi. Therefore dB is equal to again mu 0 by 4 pi into I dl by R square into cos phi. So these are the two components of dB along x and y axis respectively. Now, so it is because of this dl that we have dl sin phi and dB cos phi like this. Now imagine a dl exactly on the opposite side of the present current element. So exactly on the opposite side of the present current element, again we can find a field due to this dl. That means the same distance r will be present here. So this is how we are drawing the distance r to the point P, and these two r's will be same, exactly equal. So in this case also the direction of dB can be drawn. So this will be the direction of dB. So this is how we can find the direction of field due to this current element. That means the current element at the lower part of this ring produces a dB sin phi as shown here. A dB as shown here. Now this can be resolved in its components. That is dB cos phi downward, that is along the minus y axis, and a dB sin phi along the x axis. So this dB cos phi and dB sin phi are due to the current element which is exactly on the opposite side of the first current element. And you can see that this dB cos phi are in opposite directions. The value of dB will be same in both cases, or the magnitude of dB will be equal in both cases. But in the first case dB cos phi is upward, in the second case dB cos phi is downward. That means they are equal and opposite. So if the two dB cos phi are equal and opposite, we can see that they will cancel each other. So dB cos phi, the two dB cos phi will cancel each other. Then what about dB sin phi? So there is a dB sin phi due to the first current element. Then there is a dB sin phi due to second current element along the x-axis, right? So dB sin phi plus dB sin phi. Then if you imagine more number of dl along the length of this wire, you can see that all the dB cos phi which are coming in opposite directions will be cancelling each other. At the same time, there will be more and more dB sin phi coming along the x-axis. That means all the dB sin phi components will add up and all the dB cos phi components will cancel each other. That means ultimately the total field at the point P will be due to dB sin phi only, because all the dB cos phi components will be cancelling each other. So there will not be any dB cos phi component present and only dB sin phi component present. So the total field is due to the dB sin phi terms only. That means what? We can add all the dB sin phi components which are coming along the x-axis, or we can integrate all the dB sin phi components which are coming along the x-axis. Therefore total field B is equal to integral dB sin phi. That means this is equal to integral, what is dB? dB is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi I dl sin I dl by r square into sin phi. Then what is sin phi? Mu 0 by 4 pi I dl by r square into, in the next step we will put the value of sin phi. So this is the angle phi, and with respect to this angle phi, what is sin phi? Sin phi is equal to A by R. Sin phi is equal to A by R. So here we will multiply this term with A by R. Therefore again B is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into IA by R cube. It is not R square, it should be R cube into integral dl. And what is the meaning of integral dl? Integral dl means we are putting all the dls together over this wire. We are putting all the small dls putting together over this wire along the length of this wire. So when we add all these dl, what we get is nothing but the 2 pi a, right, where a is the radius. So integral dl, that is dl. So when you add all these dl's, what do you get is the value 2 pi a. So integral dl is equal to 2 pi a. Therefore b is equal to mu 0 by 4 pi into ia by, again it is r, so it should be r cube. So let me correct this first. It is r cube. So here r square into r is r cube. So mu 0 by 4 pi ia by r cube into integral dl. So into 2 pi a. So this is r cube. Now what is remaining is mu 0 I a into a square divided by r cube. But what is r cube? So from this figure we can see that r square is equal to x square plus a square. Therefore r is equal to root of x square plus a square, or it is x square plus a square the whole power 1 by 2. Therefore r cube is equal to x square plus a square the whole power 3 by 2. So in place of this r cube we can write x square plus, before that there should be a 2 here. So 2 into x square plus a square the whole power 3 by 2. That is the value of B. So the magnetic field at a distance x from the center of this coil is mu 0 I a square divided by 2 into x square plus a square the whole power 3 by 2. Then what is the field at the center? Center means the value of x will be 0. So when you put x equal to 0, this equation will become what? B is equal to mu 0 I a square divided by 2 into a square the whole power 3 by 2. And what is a square the whole power 3 by 2? So to see what is a square the whole power 3 by 2, we can write it as a square the whole power 3 by 2, that is equal to a raised to 2 into 3 by 2. So both 2 will cancel, and what is remaining is a cube. So a square and 1 a of a cube will remain, and a square of the numerator has gone. In the numerator only a is there. So that is equal to mu 0 I by 2a. So at the center the value of the magnetic field is mu 0 I by 2a. Now, so this is a case of a circular loop having a single turn. Now suppose that there are n number of turns. Now if there are n number of turns in this loop, then for n turns b is equal to n into mu 0 I a square divided by 2 into x square plus a square the whole power 3 by 2. So this is the equation for n number of turns at a distance x. Similarly at the center for n number of turns b is equal to n into mu 0 I by 2a. So this is the magnetic field due to a current carrying loop at a distance x from the center of the loop and also at the center of the loop. So this is how we are applying Biot-Savart law to find the magnetic field due to a circular loop of current. Okay. So in the present class, the crucial point is the understanding of the direction of dB. So here I have a bangle, and on this bangle suppose we are taking a small length dl. Suppose this is the small length dl we are taking. So what is the field due to this dl? So r is like this, right? This is r. So dl is over the surface, this is r, and you can see that the angle between this r and dl is 9 degree, right? So whether you move it whether you move it forward or backward, no matter whether this direction is forward or backward, the direction between the angle between this R and DL is 9 degree, right? You can see that the angle between this bangle, the angle between this R and bangle is always 9 degree. So whether you move it forward or backward, always the angle is 90. So this is the case that we have discussed, right? So this is the bangle and you are keeping it like this. Now you just tilt it by a small angle, right? So this is the R, right? This is the R. So this is the case we have discussed. Now perpendicular to this R, the direction of DB will be like this. So DB should be perpendicular to this one and perpendicular to the DL. That means what? It should be like this, right? That means now if you keep it like this, now the direction of DB is perpendicular to R, at the same time it is perpendicular to the DL here, right? So you can see the DL here. So it is perpendicular to DL and perpendicular to R. It can be either this way or this way depending on the direction of current. So that is a crucial part of the derivation. Understanding of the direction of DB is the crucial part. So you may try to do it using a bangle and a pencil, which is very simple, right? So like this. So this is DL, you are placing it over DL, so now it is perpendicular to DL. You can move it forward or backward, always the angle is 90 degree. So that is the case. So this is what we have drawn in the last class. This is what we have just drawn for the derivation, and this is the direction of DB. So that's all. Thank you for watching.